What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got some more crazy entitled parent stories for you. You cut my daughter with a seatbelt? I'm going to have you fired. I worked at an amusement park at the time. We got snooty parents and kids, etc. all the time. Figured I'd start sharing some stories. So here I am, kind of dreading coming into work at this point because I know I have about 3 days left of working as a ride operator. From there, I would go to work at the National Archives or the Smithsonian. I think I had decided on National Archives at this point, but I honestly don't remember. This becomes relevant later. So I'm working at my favorite ride in the park. It's called the Music Express. If you know the ride that spins in a circle, goes up and down a little, goes backwards sometimes, it's that. They're everywhere. Ours in this case has a seatbelt and a latch bar. I'm working there with someone, which is unusual as we were understaffed in that section due to a promotional event we were doing. We load up everyone, and when I got back down to the entrance after double checking my partner's work, and him mine, we really care about safety. You were fired for not being up to standard on safety. I get someone who we'll call Karen. She asked me to come over to her and asked me to look at her daughter's arms. The daughter is about 5 or so. The exchange goes as follows. What am I supposed to be looking at? The daughter has some various bruises and cuts, nothing out of the usual for an active kid. What do you mean, what are you supposed to be looking at? Look at her arm. I'm sorry, Mom, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be looking at here. You cut my daughter? I'm honestly confused. Do you mind showing me where? Ugh, go on, kid, show him where he cut you. Her kid points to the inside of her elbow. I now realize exactly where this is going. This is going to be an entitled mother trying to get something because her baby is hurt. It continues. I'm figuring out which cut it is on the kid's arm. Are you okay? Is there anything I can get you? Is she okay? She's been screaming at you for the past 5 minutes and other people have been trying to get your attention. I want you to get her ice at the very least. I know this is all wrong. I don't have ice here, but I can direct you to first aid. Karen cuts me off. No, we're on the ride, we want to ride it, and she needs ice now. As I said, I can direct you to first aid. Fine, we'll do it your way, we'll go to first aid, but we're not riding. She said this like it was some sort of threat. Saying I'm not riding as a threat isn't new to me anymore, I'm used to it. But I do also want to add a quick addendum that once we check all of the seats, we can't leave the ride area due to safety concerns I won't get into. New addition, FCW is friendly co-worker. That's fine, I can't go with you to first aid though. What? Why? It's a safety concern because I'm a 9-year season pass holder and I know you can come with me. At this point, I'd finally gotten them out of their cars. Like I said before, I can't. Haven't you heard the customer is always right? You're coming with me. I can't. However, if you follow certain paths, you can reach first aid. Karen then gets to the entrance and sees the guest service flag. Why can't you have excellent guest service like the person who got that? You're terrible at your job. I'm a 9-year season pass holder and work for the state. I'm gonna have you fired. Actually, I earned that flag. I also have one. I point to something on my shirt because I'm one of the best operators in the park. No, you're not. Get me some ice from that booth and we'll be on our way. I'm sorry, as I've said before, there's no ice in the booth. Hey, co-worker, get my daughter some ice from the booth. I can't. We don't have ice in the booth. Karen then starts stomping towards the booth. I'm getting you both fired. I'm a 9-year season pass holder and work for the state. At this point, I'm fed up with these antics she put on me for the past 15 minutes. So you outrank me because you work for the state and I work for an amusement park? Yes. Well, in about 2 weeks, I'll be working for the national government in DC, which means, per your own standards, I outrank you. Karen is now fuming with anger. Get me a pen and a sheet of paper. I'm writing down both of your names and having you fired. I grab a sheet of paper and pull the pen off of my visor that I always have with me. My name is Average Dude 1999. Karen pushes down on the pen so hard that the top of the ballpoint pen pops off, and the ink with it. Mighty convenient, isn't that? Get me another pen. She whips the pen at me, which I dodge. My co-worker hands her another pen. My name is Friendly Co-worker. How do I know your name is Average Dude 1999? Keep in mind by this point, she had checked my ID on 2 separate occasions before this, and I have a name tag that clearly displays my name on my chest. At this point, my memory gets fuzzy as I was completely caught off guard from Karen harassing me for a solid 20 minutes. She eventually leaves and I try my best to go back to being my usual cheery operator self. You know, the one that has multiple awards from the park and one from a training company, as well as having been videotaped for random screening of the park to then be later used as a model for how to be a good operator. Then my supervisor comes over and tells me I need to see the head of ride operations, HRO. Karen had apparently accused me of assaulting her and her daughter, being an overall rude and arrogant jerk, making suggestive comments, as well as being rude to other guests, as well as my friendly co-worker. Head of ride operations asked for my side of the story. I say that I was working at the Music Express with my co-worker when she stops me. Wait, you don't mean this other ride? What? Is that what she said? I'm just asking. Well, neither me or my co-worker are trained at that other ride, and only one person can be operating it at a time. Well, she said that ride. I start laughing at the stupidity of it and relief. No, as I said, that would not be possible. That's basically how the convo went, and my friendly co-worker confirmed everything I said. We were both sent home for the day with pay to make sure she wouldn't try to start anything else. The next day, I come in to find that multiple people on the ride and in line at the Music Express had reported her for berating me and just wanted to make sure I wouldn't be fired. Because of the statements of those people, combined with mine and my co-worker's oral and written accounts of what happened, she had her season pass revoked and was banned from the park for the rest of the year. A satisfying ending if you ask me. Yep, I definitely agree with you there. Oh, I really like these kind of stories where it comes back to bite the Karen on the butt. I'm sorry, but talking down to people who you think you outrank is so messed up. Who does that? And also, I'm pretty sure that working for the state doesn't necessarily mean you have an insane job, right? Like, no offense to janitors, but technically janitors work for the state. I don't really get it. Moving on to our second story. Entitled Mum assaults me for kicking her out of the store. Now, let me start off with I'm still very annoyed over this situation. It's been about 3 hours and I seriously cannot begin to explain what the actual F happened. Like, it was a blur, but I'll try my best. Now, no one was seriously injured. I do have a few cuts and scrapes on my arms, but I'm fine other than that. As stated before, in a story about a week or two ago I posted about Karen and lemon frickin' Oreos, I work in a grocery store. There is never a dull moment here. Now, the manager rolled in at 6 AM, me rolling in around 6:30 along with about 6 other employees. Okay, so you know, since there are people in this building, the doors have to be unlocked in case of some type of emergency. Well, my roommate drove me to work today since I'm on the way to his work, and I noticed a car pulling into one of the parking spots closest to the store. I didn't think anything of it, since usually the Coca-Cola rep comes in on Thursday to check her stuff. No, I was wrong. I was putting the newspapers on the stand when this lady forces the doors open, allowing herself into the store 20 minutes before we open and not even closing the doors. I stared at her as she grabbed a cart and proceeded to walk past with a smile. Now, I'm not the jolliest of people in the morning, so I probably came off as a real female dog person when I confronted her. Mom, you can't be in here. It was an entitled mum. Why not? You're in here. You must be open. No, we aren't. We do not open until 7. The hours are stated on the door. Well, I'll be done by the time you open. I have to get my kids lunch for today and tomorrow. I understand, and I'm sorry, but you have to leave. We will be open. No, that's not going to work. I'm already in the store. Why are the doors even unlocked if you aren't open? My manager is off somewhere but got tipped off and is watching this whole ordeal. Thank the Lord, because this lady went from 0 to 100 in a split second. Mom, I need you to leave. If you would like, I can call my manager to escort you out. I am not leaving. My kids are in the car and need their lunches. It's the middle of winter at 6:45 in the morning. It was around 18 to 20 Fahrenheit with no sun, so it was too cold for these kids to be left alone without a heater. I'm sorry, but you need to. We are not open. This lady snapped. She pushed this little cart that had some fruit in it at me, runs my foot over, slammed it into my gut, then came at me. She had some sharp as anything stiletto nails that scratched at my arms and managed to give me a few cuts. The produce manager managed to grab her and hold her back as the manager came over towards us. He said something about she was not allowed back in our store again, but over her screaming, I couldn't hear it. Like, she threatened to call cops for a few things, but the only one I really heard was harassing a customer who was just trying to shop. My manager said that we had footage of her attacking me, forcing the doors open before the store opened and leaving them open so anyone could walk in. As the entitled mum was getting into her car, she kept going on about how we shouldn't have the doors unlocked if the store isn't opened. I guess the manager called her a freaking idiot and explained with very choice words that would she rather have 10-ish employees die in a fire because the doors weren't opened or have 10-ish people live. The manager told me as she was leaving, he noticed 2 or 3 kids in the car, all under the age of 10 or 12, in this locked car, and to no surprise, it wasn't even running with a heater. So yeah, this is how my morning went, and I just want to go home and sob, but I have to work my full shift and then some extra hours because why the heck not? Oh man, I feel for you. After that encounter, I would not want to spend the rest of the day at work. If I were you, I'd just call the police. You have the footage, you have the scratches, you have witnesses, you have everything to prove what happened. And her kids probably won't know otherwise. They'll probably openly say that there was no heater if the cop asks. You'll have all the proof to have her arrested. Don't miss that opportunity. I honestly don't think your manager should have let her leave before calling the police. She assaulted you. Did someone at least get her license plate? Anyway, I hope some sort of justice is brought upon this entitled mum. So guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Entitled Parents. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, drop this video a like, comment your opinions on these 2 stories down below, and subscribe for daily Reddit content on my channel. If you want more immediately, check out the video on screen right now. If not, I will see you all tomorrow with a brand new upload.